I put 7 pounds of muscle on in the last 6 months. This is how I did it. What's up, beautiful people? Nathan Clark, Domination Nation Gym. How's it going? I'm going to show you a couple simple things I did in my training and lifestyle in the last 6 months that allowed me to put on about 7 pounds of muscle. Now, first of all, obviously that doesn't sound like a lot when you're 44 years old and you've been trained a long time and you're completely 100% natural. It's actually a good amount of lean tissue. Now, granted, disclaimer, I didn't check my fat percentage the same and after. I'm just going off of what I see. And it's very, very comparable, both before and after. It's also important to note for me, like, my intention wasn't necessarily to put on muscle. I was just playing around with my training, playing around with just a few variables and just seeing if it would make a difference. I didn't have any specific intention of necessarily gaining more muscle. The other thing to note is I did not really change my diet. Like, I have never counted calories ever. If I was serious and I wanted to compete, sure, I would absolutely count calories. But this is just specific tweaks in my training with leaving my calories and my eating patterns the absolute same that have allowed me to do this. So I have no ulterior motive. I'm not trying to sell you anything like every other Joe Schmo out there and their advice. I'm not sponsored by any company or any supplements. I'm certainly not on any drugs. I get zero from this. So this is just helpful advice and information from my perspective and my experience solely. Take it with a grain of salt if you want. I used to weigh myself all the time. For the longest time, I was like 242 pounds, just 242 pounds. It wouldn't budge. So I kind of got to the point in my training where I just stopped caring. There's no real ulterior motive. Like, I carry around 12 to 14% body fat-ish. You can still see my abs. My lower abs have a little fat on them. It is what it is. I think I function optimally at this body fat percentage, is both as libido, energy level, and just basic life management. There's no reason other than some ego vanity thing if I wanted to be sponsored by someone and look super physiological for a show and take some photo shoot to make myself look better than I really am for a few days and go back to my basic body fat percentage. But for me, I like to sit around there. So basically, like, I stopped weighing myself for a while, and I just weighed myself last week and I'm up to 250. So again, from 242 to 250, about the same time of day. I don't really, like I said, I give or take a pound or two, but there's definitely been a noticeable difference in several parts of my physique. So I'm going to share 3 things that I changed in the last 6 months that I think really contributed to this. All right, so number 1, perhaps even more important than anything else, is I kind of just became more conscious and aware of my sleep patterns. Lots of people say it, it's well known nowadays, but testosterone anabolism happens at rest. And what I recognize and realize, and I've always slept decent, but I changed a few things about around nighttime to help me make sure I sleep better. And it's made a huge difference because, you grow when you sleep, you grow when you rest. And particularly as a natural, I've realized how truly important that is. And that testosterone levels, like, the ultimate anabolic drug or activity is sleep. It really is. So for me, a couple things that I did was I stopped eating about 3 hours before bedtime. So that window of time when you can go to bed fasting, like, your HGH levels are crazy and your sleep is much deeper. So again, I've slept well for, I've always been sort of sleep conscious, but this little tweak has really helped. The other thing I did is I started using mouth tape. Now, a lot of people out there talking about mouth tape and how it can absolutely help. Like, from my perspective, it makes a humongous difference. Like, use tape mouth. I used to just put a breathe right strip, but especially for bigger guys, and I'm bigger-ish, obviously, taping your mouth and just forcing yourself to breathe through your nose has made a tremendous difference in the quality of my sleep. So it's stopping eating about 2 to 3 hours, more 3 hours before bed, going to bed fasted. In addition to that, mouth tape has just dramatically improved my sleep. So the second thing I did is I changed my workout split. I've done push-pull legs for a long time. It's a very effective routine, but I found I had to switch it up. And what I've been doing is an upper-lower modified split, and I found it works way better for my body because I can do 2 days on, 1 day off. I was doing 3 days on, 1 day off before, and I was making it work. But I find if I train really hard, I can't do more than 2 days consecutively. And I used to feel like I could. Maybe it's just my age. Maybe it's just whatever else. But I just can't do 3 days in a row anymore without being slightly suboptimal or without paying the price in recovery. So what I love about this split is I train my lower body more. Like I've actually grown to love training legs way more than I ever did. Even though it's still disproportionate to my upper body, I just love training legs. And like the stimulus, the growth stimulus, the HGH, the IGF-1, the testosterone that's released from doing legs, like I find you absolutely need that to grow the rest of your body. And a lot of people have said this before, but my anecdotal experience is it's absolutely true. So the more you can train legs in a rested state, like the more you're going to have the potential. Like a chest workout, a back workout, it just doesn't release the same amount of growth hormone, the same amount of stimulus in your system that when you work your legs does. I truly believe that. Number 3 for me, related to my training, I stopped training my back and my chest as frequently. So I do upper lower, and every other upper I do chest, every other upper I do back. So I do it maybe once every 5 to 6 days ish. And I find my back and my chest are still some of my best body parts. But I found I was just way overtraining my chest and my back. And maybe it's related to having tons of cool equipment and not being able to choose what I want to do, which it probably is. Because I come here for back and chest day, I'm like, man, I got so many good things. What am I going to use? What am I going to do? That can be a problem. That really can be a problem. Because what I've recognized and realized is, like, enjoying training is not the same thing as training to actually, like, affect a result. Like I love training. I can just train as a lot of you can. But you know, it's kind of like a CrossFitter. You're just in there, you're training almost too much. It's not really the optimal way if you want to focus on building muscle or losing fat. It's still not bad, and I still love training, but I was just doing way too much in my back and my chest. Now, in that same vein, what I found is I do some sort of shoulders and some sort of arms, biceps and triceps on every single upper day. Low volume, high frequency for shoulders and arms works the best. Those are just the 3 simple things I've done without changing my eating whatsoever. I don't eat crap, but I'm not strict. I'm not super strict. I like to have carbs in the evening. I like to have sweets here and there. I haven't changed my eating whatsoever. This is all just purely related to training and sleep. Take it as you want. And like I said, this is my anecdotal experience. I've got nothing to sell you. But try some of those things out. Consider some of those things in your own life if you've stalled. And tell me what you guys think. Have an awesome day.